path of righteousness is full of hardship, but the
Now we're getting ready. I shall do it. Very well.
Begin the
I think we work well together.
These creatures have no true reason to fight us.
Very well.
blessed are the... and the stars always...
got a brother that fell at Ostagar. Hope we're not
Light
next.
has truly come, and the king is dead.
Ah, don't mind us. Best be careful. Darkspawn are coming.
Well, look what we have here then. I think we've just been blessed.
Uh-oh. Logain's men. This can't be good.
Didn't we spend all morning asking about a fellow by this very description? And everyone said they hadn't seen him.
It seems we were lied to.
Gentlemen, surely there's no need for trouble. These are no doubt simply more poor souls seeking refuge.
They're more than that. Now stay out of our way, sister. You protect these traitors, you'll get the same as them.
Tern Logain claims the Grey Wardens betrayed the king. Or haven't you heard?
Enough talk! Take the warden into custody. Kill this sister.
Right.
Enemies approaching! Let us end this!
You've won. We surrender.
Good. They've learned their lesson and we can all stop fighting now.
Please wait!
They have surrendered. They were no match for you. Let them be.
Yes, thank you.
I apologize for interfering, but I couldn't just sit by and not help. Let me introduce myself. I am Liliana, one of the lay sisters of the Chantry here in Lothering. Or I was. I joined the Chantry to live a life of religious contemplation. But I am... Those men said you're a Grey Warden. You will be battling the Darkspawn, yes? I know after what happened you will need all the help you can get. That's why I'm coming along. The Maker told me to. I know that sounds...
More crazy?
Look at the people here. What you do, what you are meant to do, is the Maker's work. Let me help.
Perhaps your skull was cracked worse than Mother thought.
Thank you.
Why are we stopping?
You're here about food. Take it. I got other gear to sell. Oh, mess. All have hungry bellies, sad. I sold that bleeding merchant outside about half my larder 2 weeks back, and now he's charging outrageous sums for all my food. You did? Well... to hear about... I got other gear to sell. Check the chanters... I don't suppose you know anything about, poison? Yes, I've got some traps around the place. I've heard the poison hurts them beasties just... Well, there's no bleeding said. Besides, can you make poison or not? That's what Elder Mary... I just want to rest a little easier at night. Pity. So, you want to buy something instead?
Did you speak to that knight yesterday? Said he was from Redcliffe.
He talked to everyone in the tavern. How are we supposed to know where the urn of sacred ashes is? Might as well ask us how to get to the moon.
He said that all the Redcliffe knights were looking for it. As if they didn't have anything better to do. I don't get it.
Don't let him touch you!
Very well.
I'll bet all die.
Very well.
I'm still the one the day.
I should talk to you. Very well.
Mighty timely arrival there, my friend. I'm much obliged. The name's Bodon Feddick, merchant and entrepreneur. This here is my son, Sandal. Say hello, my boy.
Hello.
Road's been mighty dangerous these days. Mind if I ask what brings you out here? Perhaps we're going the same way. Grey Wardens? No offence, but I suspect there's more excitement on your path than my boy and I can handle.
Goodbye.
Now then, let's get this... We'll be off as soon as this mess is cleared.
Hello.
Thank you, Cut. Someone help us!
Very well.
Mighty timely arrival there, The name's...
Hello.
Road's been mighty dangerous these days. Mind if I ask what brings you out here? Perhaps we're going the same way. Complicated? Thank you for the offer, but there may be more excitement on your path than is good for my boy and me.
Goodbye.
Now then.
Bad dreams, huh? Well, it is real, sort of. You see, part of being a Grey Warden is being able to hear the Darkspawn. That's what your dream was, hearing them. The Archdemon, it talks to the Horde, and we feel it just as they do. That's why we know this is really a blight. He did. He said he felt the Archdemon's presence. Everyone just assumed. It takes a bit, but eventually you can block the dreams out. Some of the older Grey Wardens say they can understand the Arch... Anyhow, when I heard you thrashing around, I thought I should tell you. It was scary at first for me, too. I screamed like a little girl. Duncan said he thought I had someone in my room. Not embarrassing at all. Anyhow, you're up.
Yes? Well, here I am. What is meant by someone like me? Did you think I was old? The Chantry provides succor and safe harbor. I was a traveling minstrel and my skill in battle.
What do you need? Ask away. Essentially, they're trained to fight. The Chantry would tell you that the Templars exist simply. The other main purpose for a Templar is, of course, to hunt mages. To that end, we train in talents that drain mana and disrupt spells. You could call it that, sure. The Chantry doesn't look on it the same way, however, since really our talents only work on mages. Against a regular person, I'm just a guy in a metal suit. No, I never actually became a full Templar. Duncan recruited me before I was only present during one harrowing. That was all I needed, too. The girl we tested, she had a demon put inside her to see if she could resist. And she couldn't. I have to say I didn't have much interest in becoming a Templar after that. Perhaps. The Chantry keeps a close rein on its Templar, and since the Chantry controls the lyrium trade with the dwarves, well, I'm sure you can put two and two together. Thankfully, no. You only start receiving lyrium once you've taken your vows. You don't need lyrium in order to learn the Templar talents. Lyrium just makes Templars' talents more effective. Or so I was told. The Chantry usually doesn't let their Templars get away either, so they can spread their secrets. Oh, why, you little... Your furry friend here took offense at me getting near his food. He snapped at me, look. Sometimes I forget.
Yes. Sitting, as you observed. It's what you asked. Warden, if I truly disliked you, that I am still here, you may interpret however you choose. I did. Parshera. Was there anything else? I am hardly surprised. to answer a question. The Arishok asked what is the Blight. By his curiosity, I am now here. Yes. Never. I cannot go home. It doesn't matter. Can we move on? We keep the Darkspawn waiting. Speak, then. Then I suggest we move on. As you...
Ah, it's good to see you, mate. I'm perfectly willing to offer you a fine discount for the inconvenience of our presence. How does that sound? Good? Yes? I'm sure... You and your friends are formidable folk, indeed. It's good to have you along on the road. Well, if I am original... I ran a fairly successful bit. She had me arrested on... The lost tigers. They're full of things that people left behind. Sometimes the noble bribed the guard that was watching me and took off for the surface. Yeah. Now, is there anything the boy or I can get you? Some folks aren't happy about Tyrn Loghain being named Regent. Isn't that the most ridiculous thing? That's what I've heard on the road, anyhow. Take it for... I hear... That's what I've heard on the road, anyhow. Take it for what it is.
Goodbye. Hello.
The boy's a bit simple, but he's rather good. He can fold. It's a process. And there you have it.
Enchantment!
What do you wish of me? If you must. Well, that depends, does it not? What does she seem to be? Oh, she certainly was human. Once. Tell me, how much do you know of the tale? The one that the chastened still tell of my mother, to frighten them into obedience. I can relay what Flemeth once told me herself, and you can decide whether or not 'tis as the tale is sung by the bards. There was a time when Flemeth was young and beautiful, a fair lass in a land of barbarian men, the desire many centuries. The tales say that Flemeth fell in love with Osen the bard and fled the castle of her husband. In truth, my mother claims that 'twas Osen who was her husband, and Conabar the jealous look. Lord Conabar approached young Osen and offered him wealth and power in exchange for his lovely wife. And Osen, the life of a bard is a poor one, and love fades in the wake of hunger. All would have been well had Lord Conabar kept his end of the bargain. But he was a foul man who bargained with coin he did not possess. Osen was led off to a field and slain, left for dead. Flemeth spoke to the spirits and learned of the deed, and swore revenge. Spirits first, and 'twas they who slew Conabar. Flemeth did not turn to the demon until... Lord Conabar's allies chased Flemeth, you see. Chased her to the wilds, and there she hid. There she found the demon. The legends all speak of the great hero Cormac, he who defeated Flemeth and her great army when she invaded the lowlands centuries later. All lies. The truth of the matter is that there was never an invasion. As Cormac led a brute, Flemeth was only attached to the legend much later. Perhaps 'twas due to the great war with the Chastened that eventually came, but Mother claims not to know how. The demon within her has transformed her into... I only know my mother is clever, but she is no immortal. She bleeds. A blade in her heart would kill her like any other, were it lucky enough to find her. I do not believe everything that Flemeth claimed, but on the whole, yes, I believe this. You ask if I have sisters. The stories tell of many witches of the White. Flemeth refuses to speak of other daughters, if they existed. So, should I believe I am her first? I doubt that too. The Chastened tell of a falling out between Flemeth and... It may be true. I have never seen another witch. How often... There are more things in this world and... Flemeth tells it. Dare I ask of your own mother? Few are abominations of legend, 'tis true, but I find myself curious, nevertheless. I see. I find myself a little envious, to tell the truth. But it matters. What do you wish of me? If you must. I was not born such. 'Tis a skill of Flemeth's, taught over many years in the wilds. The Chastened have tales of we witches, saying that we assume the forms of creatures to watch them from hiding. When a child is alone and separate from his tribe, that is when we strike, dragging the young boy kicking and screaming to our lair to be devoured. A most amusing legend. Changing her form, certainly. Devouring lost children, I cannot say. She has not done it in my experience, though in truth my lifespan is but a fraction of her own. Why do you ask? Is there something specific you wish to know? Anyone with sufficient will, but the act of transformation is a magical one. Indeed, you could learn the spells required if I cared to teach you. The form of an animal is different from my own. One may study the creature. In time, this allows one to become... I gain nothing by studying another human. I already am the same as they are. I learn nothing. There were nights when the wilds... You look upon the world around you, but my life is as a human. I am under no illusions to the contrary. They do not shy away from me. To their senses, I believe I seem like any other. As to what they think, I truly cannot say. Just as I am still human, no matter my form, they are still animals. Thus they cannot speak, even were I to ask. No, 'tis not unheard of in the remote corners of the world. There are traditions of magic out. Some of these traditions, the zealots of the Chantry would uproot all such practitioners if they could. But as luck have it, some still exist. My mother is such a one. I'm shocked that you think so. Being a but perhaps you felt a little like a caged bird as well, caught within that dark tower. I thought so. Indeed. Have you an opinion on my abilities, then? Am I an unnatural abomination to be put to the torch? Oh, you're simply full of surprise. But enough of such talk. What do you wish of me? If you must. By others, do you mean yourself? Then I shall teach you what I can whenever we are in camp, provided you have the will. What do you wish of me? If you must. Why do you ask me such questions? I do not probe you for pointless information, do I? Beg pardon, then, while I jump for joy. What is it you asked if I grew up in the wilds? For many years, in time, I grew curious. I left the wilds to explore what lay beyond. I was unfamiliar with so much. So confident and bold was I, yet there was much that Flemeth could never have prepared me for. Equal parts daring and fool. Only once he pointed and gasped and began shouting in his strange language, and most assumed he was casting some curse upon me. I acted the terrified girl, and naturally he was arrested. Who cares? The point being, not that I did not have trouble. There are things about human society which have always puzzled me, such as the touching. Why all the touching for a simple greeting? Yes, some men. There were. I still do not understand it all, truth be told, but then I gave up long ago any hope of doing so. Yes? Let's ignore the entire Darkspawn threat and not that I lack appreciation. Well, let's get on with it, but... Yes? At times, perhaps, a world full of people and buildings and things was all very foreign to me. If I wished companionship, I ran with the wolves and flew with the birds. If I spoke, 'twas to the trees. Don't be fool. I recall the first time I snuck up behind her and stole a hand mirror from the carriage. Flemeth would... To teach me a lesson, Flemeth took the mirror and smashed it upon the ground. I was heartbroken. And a foolish one. Flemeth was right to... Beauty and love are fleeting and have no Without those lessons, I would not be here today, as difficult as they might have been. They did it. To return to your original question, perhaps I find myself at times wondering what might have become of the girl with the beautiful golden mirror. Yes? So, full of questions, are you? You are very cute to ask so many questions. And I am glad you are so glad. My mother has been hunted from time to time, yes, by Templar Flemeth made a bit of a game of it, in fact. The Templars would come again, and she would look at me and smile and say that the fun was to begin once more. I am unsure. I was too young to understand, and Flemeth would warn them once. 'Twas a warning and then the true game began. Often Flemeth would use me as bait, a little girl to scream and run and lure the Templars deeper into the wilds and to their doom. Me? No, I never did any of the killing, until later. And even then, Flemeth was a glutton for that sort of thing. Thankfully, the wilds is a vast place. Once they found us, Flemeth would simply move us elsewhere, and we would be lost within the forest once again. I did not understand the danger we faced until I was much older. I had never heard of apostates or maleficarum. Perhaps they did. Still, I do not begrudge them doing what they... The chant, it may even be true. Still, those of us who prefer freedom see no reason to submit. An interesting answer. Enough of this talk. Yes? We are in camp, so 'tis as good a time as any. What's this? 'Tis a rather odd discussion you seem to desire, leaning in so closely. Not unless you... Yes? We are in camp, so 'tis as good a time as any. Ah. Yes? We are in camp, so 'tis as good a time as... Discuss away.